Hi everyone. So this video is about the polarities of existence. So something I noticed a few months ago when I was up in the morning was the morning chorus. So the birds came together as one, they moved about as one, and then they went away again on their own business in the day. And I thought, other animals do that as well, don't they? You know, you see antelopes stampede as one and moving together as one, or bonobo monkeys and chimpanzees are closest relatives. They can live as a community and behave as one, act in the interests of the one, of the group. They can also separate, but they can act in oneness. And another interesting thought was triggered when I studied the Davis Life Concepts for Autism course. And the way individuals with autism are taught to individuate is by looking at the three universes. So we live in three realms of experience, three universes: the physical, the thought, and the intention universe. And concepts are taught in the three universes simultaneously. Whereas where people with autism begin is with their universes misaligned, and they are often mostly in the intention universe. And that triggered another thought. Actually, when we're on the spiritual journey, don't we move in the other direction? So when we are meditating or praying, we try and quiet the thoughts. We stop moving and we try and put ourselves back into the intention universe, and we can achieve a state of oneness, that feeling of oneness, of connection. But when we're on the path of individuation, it's the opposite direction. We try and put the three universes together and we understand concepts in the three universes simultaneously. That achieves individuation. And Scott Peck felt in this book, he described that the first half of our lives is about achieving this individuation, moving in this direction, achieving that sense of self. But once we achieve it, part of balancing is being able to give it up, being able to move back to oneness, to have the two positions, to be able to move at will between oneness and self. And an example of this is that he used to illustrate this. It's a political standpoint. So in communism, we take the viewpoint that the function of the one is to serve, the function of a self is to serve the one, for the good of the group. Whereas in capitalism, we take the view that the function of the self is to serve the self, for people to be able to promote themselves, for entrepreneurs, anyone to do what they want as a self. But neither position is satisfactory, because the health of the individual depends on the health of the group, and the health of the group depends on the health of the individuals. So actually the optimal position is to be able to move between both for the health of everyone. We need to move together because we exist in a state of oneness, whether we want to admit it or not. And we can see this currently in our cancel culture. You know, we are very good at ousting, marginalising anyone who's broken the rules of our current map, our current group map. And I believe that that's oneness acting at a level of shame. I think that's the lowest functioning of oneness. But I believe that we can act actually in oneness at a level of love and courage. And I think we need to act on the big issues that our world is facing, because we are facing existential crisis of the health of the planet, for the health of our people. And something else I've noticed is that it's not only individuals with autism who seem to me to be in this sense of oneness, but also all individuals with neurodiversity, people with ADD, with dyslexia, seem to have a really strong sense of justice. They seem to be able to have this position, and they're very practically minded as well. And I believe to find solutions to the problems that we face, we need to empower people with neurodiversity into positions of authority, and we need to empower them to speak up, because it is not easy existing in a world where all the rules seem to be made by neurotypical people when you have neurodiversity. So a lot of food for thought. In summary, I believe that we need to dedicate ourselves to see reality as it really exists. We need to do the painful work of giving up our outdated maps, of clearing those blind spots to see reality as it truly exists. And then we need to exist also in a state of oneness and self. We may need to perceive and make decisions from both these positions. And I believe people with neurodiversity have the answers to a lot of these questions. So live well and thrive.